Burnout in the name of helping is just pride. Hey y'all, welcome to the garden if you're new here. Welcome back if you're not. My name is Desiree, and on this channel we're all about growth in God, mind, body, and spirit. We do that here by diving into the Bible to see God's character, to see Jesus in the story, and to understand the Bible as a whole. If that is something you are interested in, we post videos here every Wednesday. So come join the family. We would love to have you. Today, our story starts in Exodus chapter 17, verse 8, and goes all the way through Exodus chapter 18. The Israelites have been in the wilderness for over a month now. They have seen God show his glory through many miracles. He parted the Red Sea. He turned bitter water sweet. He brought them quail and manna from heaven. And when they camped at Rephidim, he brought water through a rock. As the Israelites camp at Rephidim, the Amalekites come and attack them. So Moses tells Joshua, his right-hand man, choose some men, and tomorrow we getting our lick back. Tomorrow comes, Joshua has chosen his men, and they go off to fight the Amalekites. Moses, Aaron, and Hur, another one of Moses's servants, per se, go up on a hill with the staff that Moses has had from the beginning of this whole story. Moses, with staff in hand, lifts his hands to the sky. As his hands are raised, the Israelites are defeating the Amalekites. But as his hands begin to descend, the Amalekites begin to overtake the Israelites. So at this point, Moses has to keep his hands raised. Aaron and Hur notice that Moses is getting tired. So they pull over a boulder for him to sit on, and each of them, one on each side, holds his hands up in the sky. At sunset, Joshua and the Israelite men he chose defeat the Amalekites. After their victory, the Lord is like, Moses, write this down and make sure you tell my boy Josh, I am going to defeat, completely wipe out the Amalekites from history. With this news, Moses builds an altar to the Lord and names it, The Lord is my banner. He worships the Lord because even though the Amalekites raised their hand against the Lord prevailed and will be at war with the Amalekites from generation to generation. His father-in-law, Jethro, hear of all of the victories that Moses and the Israelites are undergoing, and they come to visit Moses. When his family arrives, Moses accepts Jethro with open arms and a kiss. Actually, he bows to him and then he kisses him. They greet each other and go into Moses' tent. Moses recounts what has happened over the past month or so, and Jethro is completely amazed. He says, this Lord that you serve is stronger than all the other gods. And Jethro sacrifices to the Lord and worships him. Aaron and the elders come and partake with Jethro in this feast to the Lord. The next day, as they camp at the mountain of God, Moses goes about his routine. He sets up shop, and all of the Israelites, remember y'all, there are 600,000 men, not including women and children, and not including the foreigners that have decided to live amongst the Israelites. So Moses sets up shop, and all of the Israelites gather in lines to wait to speak to Moses about their issues, their problems, their quarrels, and have Moses talk to God and come up with a solution. Jethro, Moses' father-in-law, sees this and it's like, why are you doing this? Do you do this every day? And Moses is like, yeah, the people, they got to talk to God about their problems, and I am the go-between, so this is how it happens. Jethro is like, this not good. I mean, talk to God about it, but this is not healthy. I think that you should do something different, because you are just going to wear yourself out, and the people are going to wear themselves out, not getting the answers that they need. So Jethro proposes a plan. He says, yes, be the representative of God for the people, but teach them the law for themselves. Also, pick some righteous men to help you bear this burden. Pick some men who aren't greedy, who can't be bought, who love the Lord, and who are righteous, and give them groups of people, 1,000, 100, 50, or 10, depending on what they can handle, and have them handle all the small disputes. And if there's a dispute that's too big for them amongst their group of people, then they'll bring it to you and you decide. That way nobody is burnt out and everyone can be helped. Now Jethro doubles down again. First he said, God be with you. Then he said, okay, I'm giving you this idea, but only if God says it's okay should you do this. But I believe that this is a responsible way to lead your people. That way your burden is lighter and the people actually get their problem solved. So Moses puts the idea into place. Moses puts some capable men in charge of different divisions of people. Again, thousands, hundreds, 50s, or 10s. And they are able to help the people with their small matters. They still bring the difficult ones to Moses, but as judges, they can decide on the matters that they can handle. After this new plan is implemented, Jethro goes home. So there are a couple of things that we see in the text. In chapter 17, the Amalekites attack the Israelites. And so God protects the Israelites from outside forces. He also takes it a step further. He doesn't just have the Israelites win the battle, but he says in the end, y'all are going to win the war too. Because enemies that raise their hands against my people raise their hands against me. The second thing we see is in chapter 18, the Lord protects us from our own selves. A lot of times we will try to do things on our own, isolated from everyone, and not ask for help. But God shows us in this passage that asking for help is better. It's better than doing it by yourself. If you surround yourself with capable men or women, if you surround yourself with capable people that can bear the load with you, you can get more done. Burnout in the name of helping is just pride. All right, y'all, time to add my 2 cents. So there's a couple things that I noticed. But one thing that was absolutely beautiful to me was the character of Jethro. So he's not, or wasn't before this, a believer in Yahweh. He didn't follow Yahweh. Actually, the text says in chapter 18, verse 1, that he was a priest of his own country. So he helps people worship whatever God they worship in the country that he lives in. So he comes to visit Moses after hearing about God from the word just spreading about the way that the 10 plagues, I'm sure, and the Red Sea. So Jethro comes to see for himself. And when he hears from Moses firsthand what the Lord is doing, he worships God. He also respects God enough that when he gives what he thinks is good advice, which it was, he still says, but talk to God first. don't just don't just take my word for it. I'm giving you what I think is good advice, but ultimately do what God says do. And that's a beautiful person to have around you. I can't even hold you. They give you advice, but they also give you space and not try to take over. Okay? That's something I have to learn myself. I'm learning. God is helping me with that because yeah, you don't want to be trying to take over. You don't want to be trying to do too much. Moses was still the leader of the Israelites, not Jethro. And after he gave his advice and it was implemented, guess what he did? He backed up. All right, y'all. That's the end of the video for today. I pray that you learned something. And if there's anything that you saw that I didn't see, definitely put it in the comments, y'all. I would love to hear from you. Y'all already know. I love you. God loves you. And don't forget to grow today.
Yeah, I like this one here.